What shall I paint and divulge lore about today? Oh, I know. Boom, baby! Today we will discuss a recently introduced monster to the campaign, the Treants. Now, since this is my first TayLore video, I'll let you all watching know that these videos will be of me painting minis and talking about the lore behind them in my campaign. Please feel free to use the lore if you like it, and please tag me in it if you do, as I'd love to see where you take the lore of the Seraphine. And if you have any comments or questions, go ahead and comment below and I'll do my best to explain and further discuss the lore behind the Treants. I ask, of course, that you please be kind and respect that this is lore for my game, so I will run it how I please. Now, without further ado, let's talk about Treants. So to start off with these beautiful creatures, Treants are awakened trees that spend their lives in ancient forests that have a blessing from nature's magic. A tree destined to become a Treant meditates through long cycles of seasons until it has grown a sentient spark within their core. This sentient spark forms into the shape of a rune in the tree's trunk rings, and as they age, it changes its shape to resemble that of an intricate leaf. If a tree is cut down before it has fully awakened into a Treant, the one who cut it would be able to see the rings of the trunk form a leaf instead of circles. Treants and powerful druids can tell if a tree has the potential to become a Treant, and they protect such trees in their groves. The secret to knowing is reserved for Treants and very special druids that Treants have deemed worthy of this knowledge. Treants are shepherds of the forest and maintain the balance of nature in their respective groves. They won't attack a lumberjack that has chopped down a tree to build a home, or a forest dweller that takes only what they need of the forest. But those that are careless with the forest, or those that poison and burn it, arouse the wrath of the Treants in full force, and it is definitely a force to be feared. Treants are rare to find alone, as they usually congregate into groves and protect a wide radius. Groves in the southern woodlands are the Rosewood Grove, of which Balanos, Kisai, and Vernock are some of the elders of. There are a total of 5 elders to this specific grove that some of you got to see in the most recent campaign episode. Other groves in the southern woodlands are the Redwood Grove, the Weeping Grove, and the Foxtail Grove. Now, the name of the grove does not mean that only those tree types are a part of that grove, but rather that the original Treant to find it may have been that specific species. A grove of Treants usually consists of an ancients group, or elders, that are considered the leaders and master shepherds, with anywhere between 10 to 70 Treants of younger age underneath them. A grove can also include dryads who assist in the forest's protection through scouting, as well as sometimes choosing a tree to become a Treant. Dryads whose home tree remains healthy and prosperous for enough time will even develop this spark and begin the process of becoming a Treant. This also gives the Dryad more power and the ability to choose a new home tree once the Treant fully awakens. Treants are neutral creatures, but there have been cases of corrupted Treants that become withered and blackened if enough evil magic and presence is around. They lose their leaves and their bark turns black with grayed roots, and they can develop infectious rotting diseases and slowly wither away, spreading that disease as they travel throughout a forest. Corrupted Treants drain the water and nutrients from the soil if they stay in a location for long, and this spreads their blight. Treants in a Seraphine have existed since the Titans first arrived, given life by the magic that seeped from the very beings. They have since responded to gods of nature who bless their forests, and due to the Titans' fall years ago, many of them have forgotten their original creators. Treants are very straightforward beings that are stout in their beliefs and ways, and they will always take the side of the forest above all others. They do take time to delight in poems and songs of nature from travelers that make their way through their forests, and many bards have even gotten their parties through these forests due to songs that they made about the Treants. Treants can be slow-moving creatures, and they don't wander outside of their grove, and due to this they send animal messengers if they must communicate with other groves or beings in the forest, and can also animate plants and trees to ensnare or capture intruders. Treants don't often resort to violence unless provoked, but will be very picky about who enters or stays in their forest. Treants can live thousands of years if they maintain a healthy lifestyle, getting enough sun and water and good soil, and they spend most of that time still and rooted in the ground, communicating with the forest through its roots and natural sounds. Those who listen closely in the forest can hear the song of the Treants, a melody of wind and leaves in the air. While a Treant is rooted, it is indistinguishable from a normal tree. A Treant has a nasty 2-slam multi-attack that deals an average of 12 points bludgeoning damage. It also has a rock attack that deals an average of 23 bludgeoning damage, so getting hit by one of these guys is sure to break a rib or two. I also gave my Treants a grapple attack that allows them to stomp their rooted feet into the ground and have the roots erupt within a 30-foot radius of them grappling a creature of large or smaller size. This has a dex saving throw of a DC 14 and a strength saving throw of DC 16 to break free. Once a grappled target is caught by a Treant, it begins to crush their enemy, dealing an average of 20 force damage to the grappled target. And a Treant can only grapple one enemy at a time with its roots. Well, there you have it, Rollers. The lore of the Treants in the campaign world setting of Seraphine. I hope that this was both fun and informative for you all, and again, if you liked something that I said in this video, please tell me what it was, and if you use any of it in your games, I'd love to know what awesome spin you put on it or where you threw it in the lore. I figured if you were mainly here to see a mini paint, that I'd also let you know what paints I was using and what techniques I used. And to answer those questions, I started with a lighter coat as the base so that I could get the lighter bits on the inside of the tree, and then went over the mini again in a darker brown, making sure to not get into the crevices as much. After that, I went over with a black wash to get a nice contrast going, and then did my base colors on the parts like the beard, mushrooms, and bottom base. I then repeated with a dark brown wash over everything, and then a light dry brush atop the tree with a light gray to give it some age. I then took a red dry brush to give it variant color, and repeated one more dark wash to really get those dark browns and blacks to sink in. Finally, after painting, I was lucky enough to have a friend let me use some of her FLOGGIng? I think it's FROTHING. I forget the name. But the beautiful grass texture you see in the pictures I got are from her. She's the most amazing mini painter and terrain maker I know, and you should all definitely check her out on Instagram as she draws beautifully as well. I put a link to her account in the doodad below. And the paints I used are Liquitex Basics, which you can find at any arts and crafts supplying store. I also used MSP HD paints and the Army Painter War paints. The candles in the video I purchased from Sierra Craft Candles, which if you want some you can purchase on her Etsy. I'll go ahead and put a link in the doodad below to her store as well. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you want to watch our campaign stream, you can catch episodes either here on our YouTube account, or you can watch live every other Sunday unless noticed otherwise on our Twitch. A link to our stream is also in the doodad below, and if you do watch our stream and there's a monster, a creature, or even a character you want to know more lore about in the story, let us know during the stream or on our Instagram or even in the comments below, and I'll make a mini painting TayLore video about it. Thanks again everyone, and I hope to see you on the stream. Happy rolling adventures, and may the dice be in your favor.